All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Limitless show. You know who it is. You got Top D over here. You got Christo himself, and it's your man, Simba. You can call me Benny, whatever the heck you want, depending on social media. Welcome back to episode 2 of the Limitless show.
Let's
gentlemen,
go.
Are we excited? How are we feeling?
We're feeling freaking
number 2.
amazing.
Yeah.
Let's roll.
Yeah. We had a couple of teething issues that prevented a couple of episodes, but hey, you know what? We're back now. We're back. Audio's good. Video is good. The setup is good. And we're back in good motion. And the feedback has been good as well. First of all, first cap of the rank. Thank you guys for your support and the feedback. All the ladies that followed us because of Steve, the man is still single. So put your applications in. Nah. You got to come correct. There's a qualification process. We start with meet and greet 1. And then if you qualify, meet and greet 2. I'm playing.
It's a 5-year game plan.
It's a 5-year game plan. You get some mentorship from Top D himself. Give it up for Top D looking spick. Look at that, man. My man looking crispy, bro. Mr. President's in the building.
Appreciate it.
AKA the Dragon. All right, cool. So we got your feedback, and thank you so much for your feedback. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that feedback on board. We're really going to dive into the meat of everything that we need in terms of feedback and what you guys said. And a lot of what came through the DMs and the inboxes was that you wanted to hear more about our personal stories, really understand who we are, what we're about, where we come from, where we're going. And then, if we have some other bits and pieces that sneak into there, I think we're going to do it. Without further ado, we're going to go to Christo with a Q and a Z.
Mr. C-Flow.
C-Flow, flood and basements, my man. Yeah. Don't be blushing now.
Hey, I'll take it.
Go ahead, man.
Hey, I'll come up with another nickname because
Yeah.
Christo with a Q.
Christo, we'll work on it. We'll work on it.
We'll
work on it. Yeah. We'll work on it.
What's good, everyone? Hope everyone's keeping well. And thanks for the question, Simba. And where do I begin? For me, I just want to start off by saying that I am an immigrant. I came here when I was 7 years old. And when I first stepped into Australia, I was just in the mindset of just having fun. Just came from another country. I wanted to meet people, focus on that, and improve my English, to be honest. So that was sort of my mindset in high school and primary school as well. But after finishing high school, I realized that I wanted to start becoming more serious about my life. I wanted to actually focus more on my future. In high school, I wasn't really focusing on university or anything like that. I was just, again, going with the flow. That was my mentality.
Yeah, I get it.
And after realizing that that's not going to be the way, I realized that I need to start figuring out my plan of action. So looking into Google, that's sort of where I came across different business models. And the first thing that I came across was trading. Right?
Yeah.
Coming from a finance background, I saw trading as a way to make money online without having that much investments up front. And also all you need is just a laptop.
That's what it is, a laptop. Shout out to the traders, yo. Like you guys are heavyweight, analyzing charts and everything, man. Like day trading is an absolute game on its own.
It is.
Absolute game.
If you do it well, it can definitely be a profession as well that you pursue full time.
Yeah.
But personally, for me, the reason why I didn't make it through that was just because of a lack of commitment and just some character traits that I need to develop, such as prioritizing, being patient, not being too greedy.
Yeah.
Because in trading, you can get greedy quite easily. Ensuring you put your stop loss, risk management, all of that. And I didn't really have that character traits to perform well in trading. So I decided to actually look outside. And at the time, my brother was doing network marketing.
Hey, all right.
Yes. This is where the network marketing comes in because he was a part of Herbalife at first. But
Shout
I think
out to Herbalife.
didn't last long. And I know you were a part of Herbalife.
Yeah, that's the first one that got me.
There you go.
Actually, it was Mary Kay, but no, Tupperware, actually. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, there's a few.
There's a few out there.
But Herbalife, I don't think it went anywhere with my brother, but he then got approached by an individual from Amway. So that's the network marketing that we decided to take on board. And when I was doing network marketing, I learned a lot of skills. I learned a lot of character traits that I was lacking. I got a chance to develop that. Just a lot of personal development, right? Warren Buffett said it. First asset you need to work on is yourself.
It's yourself. You don't think.
That's right. And personally, when I was looking on Google, I wasn't really looking into that type of content. I was just finding ways to make money.
That's right.
Everybody wants to make a buck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So
cash flow, baby. Cash flow.
Cash flow and just making money.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I learned was instead of just chasing, what business models to pursue, and instead of just chasing, like endeavors, I started to look at achievers, like people that actually have success. I started to study them and I started to look at what their character traits were. So network marketing gave me an opportunity and environment to see some of the top leaders that have performed. And that's how I was able to grow my character traits. And I was there for 4 years, but I decided that I learned most of the things that they could help me out in terms of character traits, that is. And that's when I started to look outside, and now I'm pursuing content creation.
Yeah.
And it's been a lot of fun, right?
Yeah,
A lot of fun. So that's sort of my journey so far. Outside of that, obviously we got the Limitless show as well that we're excited
Yeah, that's right.
Going to the top,
to get going.
Yo.
Right?
We're
But,
taking over.
That's right. That's right.
Taking over, man.
But I know everyone else also want to hear, Simba and Top D's story as well. So Top D, do you want to maybe kick off your humble beginnings?
The man with the smooth suit. Yeah, my man be looking like 007 James Bond in here.
I just came after ordering a hit, so we're here.
Hey, yo, if FBI, if you're listening, there's no evidence.
No.
Yeah, Top D taking a sip. Yeah. He's getting ready to drop some bombs.
Well, it's been an interesting story, I guess, boys. I think the biggest thing where my journey really started was, in uni. That's where the game changer happened to me. Just being able to put myself out there, show my knowledge, build my confidence.
Yeah.
When I first started off, I was just quite nerdy but shy. That was definitely a big challenge for me. But through my own knowledge, that's how I made friends.
Yeah.
I was trying to do well in class, just contribute my ideas. And through that, I got to network with different people, form relationships in terms of, group projects. And that's where the idea clicked in my mind, where I realized we don't all know the answers to the problems, but everyone has a piece, right? So the biggest complex problems in this world, if everyone just contributed different aspects, we can solve it. And I started to deal up these ideas in uni where I realized, hey, if we all came together, imagine what we could do, our generation, if we just put all our egos aside. And that's where my sort of passion for creating some sort of a firm or a business where we could have that sort of creative flow was inspired from.
Yeah.
And also the fact that by me putting myself out there and sharing my knowledge, I was able to actually connect with different people. Like, they were open to it and my ideas were having an impact. And I was thinking, if I shied away from sharing my views and knowledge, then I wouldn't be able to create this impact in the first place. So through uni, I met incredible different characters who inspired me and started my own journey of self-growth. And just like Christo and yourself, Simba, the biggest thing I realized is I had to be the biggest asset. You know what I mean? The biggest investment in this was going to be me. You know what I mean? So I learned to deal up my skill set, my knowledge, and just my experience in all things. And I started my first company through uni because of these aspects. And that was probably one of the more difficult challenges I faced, because it's one thing to start a company, other thing to have the leadership qualities to truly be able to bring out the best in everyone and also to handle your own ego.
Yeah, straight up.
Because when you're a leader, you're the shot caller. You're the boss, right? But you bear the weight of your entire team on your shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And at that time, I really wasn't hitting the gym, so that was some heavy weight. And in my mind, I was just like, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? I have all these people who are counting on me. And it was a big eye-opener for me, and I realized I needed to take a step back, develop myself, become the best version of me, come back to the table, and then be able to elevate my team to perform at the highest level.
Yeah, powerful.
You know? And that's from there I went on to pretty much just keep developing more skills, finishing off my degree, dabbling in shares, just like Christo. And what was really interesting was I brought a share for not too much. I put a few $1,000s in. And funny enough, I was doing all my research, using everything I learned from uni. Because, we would learn all these skills, but it's when you practically use these skills that you actually developed.
Yeah.
the
Straight up.
experience you need to perform in the real world. You know, we don't need to go to big companies. We don't need to do all these internships, because even when you do them, what's your real life experience?
Yeah.
Right? You know, if we were actually able to learn and read more and actually apply that knowledge, a lot of these institutional education systems and even companies wouldn't exist, because we would be able to do our own individual ideas if we
Yeah.
were brave enough, right? So it was pretty crazy for me, because when I started doing the shares and learning, I actually created a substantial, successful transaction. You know what I mean? And it was, I've invested like 9K, for example, and it went up to like close to 100,000 at the time.
Yeah.
And it was massive for a young uni student to pull something like that off. And that gave me the confidence of going, hey, you know, I'm onto something here.
Yeah.
The practical power of knowledge.
It just takes one, right?
It just takes
All
one.
it takes is one.
All it takes is one.
The right
And
move.
That's it. Making the right moves. Right. And then from there, I went on to work for a firm, got experience. And I realized in that firm that it's a dogfight. Everyone
Yeah.
wants to be at the very top. Everyone wants to be the big alpha, the big boss, the partner in the firm. And that takes over from everyone else that's trying to put in work. Because there's people in the team that might not necessarily be the most brightest, but they might have great social aspects that allow them to close amazing deals. Or they might be really bright, but just not confident enough. And, you know, you have to put yourself out of the equation to really work with them, because they have so much potential, untapped potential. We all do.
Yeah.
So, but
Agreed.
because of everyone's ego, you couldn't see that in the firms, you know? So once I started to find my feet, I moved away from the firms, and I wanted to go in an industry where I was impacting people and where people were involved, and where I felt like my policies would change lives. And that's why I felt into healthcare.
Yeah.
And I started from the bottom up, and I worked my way through, and it's something that I'm deeply passionate about, because now when I advise or come up with new strategies for businesses in healthcare, I can see that my strategies are changing lives on the daily. And now as I'm building my legacy and I'm known for being the best at what I do, I'm excited to take that from that arena, come back to the corporate world as a disruptor and show people it can be done. We can make absolute impact with our policies. You know what I mean? All these structures that people have now, take that bullshit aside and let a collective people come together, put all their ideas together and make a real difference.
Yeah.
And so some people, they think, is that even possible? We're making it possible. That's what the Limitless is all about. We don't have boundaries. We're here to make shit happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm lucky from that stage to have teamed up with some incredible entrepreneurs right here. And we're building something great. And we each have our own individual businesses, but collectively, it's going to be a game changer. I'm excited for what the future holds.
Yeah, no, straight up. And like for context for the viewers, we all met through network marketing. So Top D, talk to us a little bit how you got involved in network marketing and a little bit about your journey through that space.
Oh, well, it was
Danger.
As all people, it all started on LinkedIn, because that's where you network, mate.
Contacting, bro.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Contactings.
yeah, man.
You know it.
Yeah.
When you're a young guy and you're just trying to network and build, you know, you want to reach out to professionals. I'm sure most of you are advised to that every uni or any academic institution. They're like, go on LinkedIn, you know, put yourself out there, create a nice profile, every social event. And yeah, I was reached out on LinkedIn, and I was ambitious, looking for opportunities. And I met with an entrepreneur at the time who was also looking to expand their skills. And what really inspired me to take part in this whole thing, I think that's the key, was that I was finally linked to a group of people who were like-minded, who had entrepreneurial fire within them, and actually were wanting to watch each other succeed. And not a lot of environments have that sort of aspect. So this was really, really enticing to like participate in, because I was like, where could this lead? You know, this is what I'm trying to create. And there's this aspect here where I'm actually meeting like-minded people, you know, and I was like, let's go. So I gave it a go, and I realized there was one thing that would change the whole perspective for me, was that even though we were like-minded people, I was a free thinker.
That's dangerous.
I wasn't made to conform.
No, that's dangerous.
So when there's guideline and regulations involved and they want you to think a certain way, I was like, hell no. You know what I mean? I was just going to be me, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
And I think that's how everything pretty much went into a whole nother direction. But I...
that's one way to put it. That's one way to put it.
You know what I mean? I just broke the matrix, but...
You break the matrix.
But what was crazy is I wasn't the only one. Because when I went into this environment, I immediately... One of my biggest principles is energy.
Yeah.
The vibe, right? So I stepped in this room and I saw Christo. He was absolute legend, came and spoke to me, chatted with me. It was just such an open, welcome spirit. And I could see he was such a strong leader, but he was also just a free thinker like me. And then I look around and there's another brother from another mother. It's, of course, Simba.
The
my
Dark
man.
Knight.
That's right.
The Dark Knight Rises.
Dude, that's right, my man. It was epic. Like me and Simba, our energy was electric. Like we literally, we were a show in itself, a dynamic duo. Like seriously, it was mad. Over. And obviously, you know, there's repercussions when you have like 3 alphas in a team. You know what I mean?
Rubs people the wrong way.
It was a kill squad in itself, you know, and
it
was. We formed a very close bond very quickly because we saw something in each other. We saw this unbelievable potential of greatness within each other. We didn't have ego. That's one thing. Like most people, we were like, oh, you know, take people with great talent, all kinds of skill sets, take out the ego and watch it blossom. That's what happened here. You know, 3 emperors came together and said, let's work as a team.
Yeah.
You know, every achievement we've ever had, we've never had this fear of one of us succeeding more than the other. We've only worked to elevate each other. And that's a rare aspect among men or just individuals nowadays anyway. And that's how we started dominating within the industry.
Yeah.
Because we had such strong self-image, such a surety within ourselves that when we were in business together, we were unstoppable, you know? And, but the thing is, we were capped by the people around us. So it was exciting to break free from that cap. And now we're out here grinding it out and it's infinite. What we've
Setting the
achieved.
masses free.
That's it.
Shout out to all the people gaining their freedom. I ain't gonna say too much about that. It
doesn't have to be 5 years long, just letting you all know.
Yeah, it's not a 5-year plan for everybody.
We were giving 5-year plans to everyone.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Excess, by the way. I've been sipping on Excess. Christo been on it. Steve been on it. You know what I'm saying? We got the classic black. By the way, this ain't no plug for like no sales. We just like drinking and stuff. Like it. Yeah. But if they do want to sponsor us, if Excess people are watching, you want to sponsor Limitless show, reach out and let us know. Hey, that rhyme, look at me go.
Oh, yeah.
Snap.
My
Don't
man.
be slow. We're going to put on the show.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
That's crazy. And like those environments, you know what I mean? There's a thing about those environments where I think when you have the intention of winning together, it's different.
That's right.
Right. I was watching a podcast. I think it was The Pivot. I don't remember. I think it was Pivot. Kevin Hart was on it. He was like, when you're truly around like other winners, there's no ego like, oh, these guys are ahead of me, like screw him, I'm not going to support him.
Yeah.
It's like, no. And he was talking about his relationship between himself and The Rock.
That's right.
Everything they do, okay, his movies got like, I don't know, like more views, or his production company's done more movies. Kevin Hart's like, yeah, man, go for it, bro.
That's
like,
it.
you go.
That's
and then
it.
The Rock does the same way. You know what I mean? But
Exactly.
in a lot of environments, you have that ego aspect.
100%.
Right? And then people start to shift and change.
Yeah.
And you're like, bro, like, what's up? If I'm winning, you're winning, we're winning together. Let's both celebrate.
We're both eating at the table, man. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to eat at the table. We need to stop trying to eat more than the other person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're at the top and your crew's not there, where's your real crew love? You know what
Rick
I mean?
Ross says it's lonely at the top, right?
It's lonely.
He says it's lonely at the top.
That's right. You know what I mean? Who's watching your back? You know, when the climate around you changes, how are you going to adapt? You know what I mean? You have all the answers to the puzzle.
Yeah.
I believe hell no to that answer. You know what I mean? But if you have the right people around you, they each have input. It's going to give you the resources and skills you need to adapt to whatever you're going to face. And I think that's something really powerful in itself.
Yeah.
Agree. I think your network is so important because I look at it this way, right? I'm so focused on becoming financially free, but once you become financially free and you don't have anyone to hang out with, then what's the point? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So winning with a group of boys or with a group of friends just makes the journey worthwhile.
Yeah.
I
And
believe
you get a
it.
chance to actually experience that lifestyle with people that you actually came
Yeah,
up with.
look, your
I believe that.
your network determines your net worth. It's simply put, right? It's the accumulation of the people around you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Even off the back of that statement, it determines your net worth, but in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got your net worth, like, isn't like what's in your bank account. But then you got your mental net worth.
That's right.
Then you got your emotional net worth.
That's
Then you
right.
got your spiritual net worth. If you're hanging around people like who just don't give a damn about their mental state, you're gonna be the same, right? You know how they talk about you have one rotten apple in a basket full of apples. Eventually, all of them end up just rotten.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're experiencing some of that in other places.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then if you have, I don't know if you guys ever saw like the study with bacteria cultures that they put in yogurt. Right. So what they did was this. They got a glass vial. It's kind of like a glass box pretty much.
Yeah.
On one side of it, they put good bacteria. On the other side, they put bad bacteria. Right. There was more bad bacteria on the bad bacteria side than good bacteria. So what happened was, and this is all about the environment, right? Whether it's positive or not. What happened was over time, and there was a dividing wall in between them, so they couldn't actually interact and mix. But over time, what happened was the good bacteria started turning into the bad bacteria. They had no physical interaction, but just the environment. Then they did the test in reverse. There was more good bacteria, and there was less bad bacteria. And the bad bacteria started to take on the form of the good bacteria because there was more of that energy and that vibe.
That's right.
Right. And so that's what started to happen. And out of all of that, you know, you see it where environments either build you up the right way or the wrong way.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're people who they don't care about their health, for example, right? Like your physical, your health wise net worth is going to be pretty trash. If all your mates are eating Maccas every single day, they're not exercising, you're eventually going to fall by the wayside and start doing that too. But if they're working out on a regular, looking after themselves, right, doing whatever they need to do, you're going to end up that same way.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So, man, that quote's hit deep.
That's right.
You become who you associate with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
The law of association
It's powerful.
is crazy.
Yeah. Because when you associate with people who are trying to level themselves up, you start to ask questions of yourself. You start to go, where do I start? And then what do I need to do to make myself better?
Facts.
You know what I mean? And when you ask yourself these questions, you start to reverse engineer stuff about yourself that, you know, you discover things. And you discover that the hidden talents you possess, stuff that you can improve on, you can showcase. Because we all got stuff to showcase. Some of us just don't showcase it. It's a goddamn shame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that our self-reflection is such a powerful tool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's what comes from that. When you're in a good pack, you self-reflect and then you think, what can I contribute? What can I deal up in myself? And then all of a sudden you find yourself at a whole nother level because
Facts.
you're gaining such a deeper understanding of who you are, what you bring to the table, and how you can impact other people.
There's that element of healthy competition, if I can add.
That's it.
Oh,
It's
straight up.
very undertone, but there's that level of healthy competition that
Beautiful.
you see your boys leveling up that you don't want to get left behind,
100%.
Oh, straight up.
right?
100%.
But if you're hanging around people that are getting left behind in life, you're gonna be dragged with them.
That's right.
Right? So it goes both ways.
I
Yeah.
absolutely love you brought that into perspective because competition is a powerful thing in itself too. Because in any business environment, competition drives growth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The best
up.
businesses thrive in competitive environments. If you're caught slipping, it's game over.
You've been caught slipping.
That's it. Done. Knockout. Because any business will take advantage of the environment around them and come through.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's what disruptive, that's what real entrepreneurs do. They just wait to see what their competition is doing, see what they're lacking in, and just go for it. You know,
Yeah.
it's the same thing in real life. There's always going to be competition, but the biggest competition you face is within yourself.
Oh, facts.
If
Straight
you,
up.
if you look at
Yeah.
yourself in the mirror and you're like, is this who I want to be? I'm versing me versus me. And you take that person on and you try everything you can to level yourself up to be that version of yourself. You just keep climbing and you'll
All
keep
day.
coming across more and more stronger versions of yourself, but you will get stronger in that process. You know, the pain you feel today is the strength you have tomorrow.
Damn. That's a top striker quote right there. The pain you feel today is what?
The strength you have tomorrow.
Is the strength you have tomorrow.
That's right.
Bars.
You know what I mean?
Damn.
And that's it applies to every aspect of who we are. Yeah.
Damn. In the book of Top D Gospel, chapter
Yeah.
1, verse 1.
Writing these down.
The pain you feel today is the strength you have for tomorrow.
I'm serious. Like, think of it this way. What determines if you're a hero or villain is how you process pain. All right?
Damn.
It's how you process that pain. We're
Yeah.
all going to feel pain. Physically, emotionally. There's factors around us that we cannot control. We could lose someone we love. You know, we could get hurt ourselves.
Yeah.
Or sometimes financially, the market around us changes and we feel financial hardships. And there's a lot of these challenges that we're all going to experience over the next few months and years. But the question is, how do you process that pain? And in today's society, we're just not equipped to, because we're all too fucking soft.
Running away from pain.
That's it. So when you learn to really channel pain, you learn to create a stronger character, and that character leads its own journey and path. And for some people, you become the villain of your own story because you're so resentful of what you've experienced and the suffering you've endured. You take that out on the world and on other people. And then you have the other version, which is a hero. Because they've felt such deep pain, they choose to protect others and not shelter others and be the hero that other people can aspire to be, the better example.
Yeah. That's a whole keynote.
Dropping
man.
analogies.
Yeah, man. It's a whole keynote. I think he's about to write a book, bro. If you want to book Top D for a speaking engagement, inbox the podcast. We'll get you hooked up with him.
We got you covered. But
Thanks,
appreciate
boys.
you sharing, Top D. And before
crazy.
we wrap up this episode, maybe we can hear your side of the
That's
story,
right.
Simba.
Oh, yeah, damn.
Right. I know we shared a little bit
traveling
about
already
how
like
we
that?
started
My man.
entrepreneurship. But what about yourself?
We're up to
How
the
did
big
you get
line. Let's go.
Yo, he a vacuum cleaner?
Yeah,
Shout
I
out
do.
to the cleaner in the background.
Guy, what you?
But nah, I'm pretty sure everybody can still hear us. The audio is crystal clear. Audio's good today. Audio's good today. We all right. Yeah, man. Like, where did I start, man? It's been a long ass road, man. So a long time ago, I started off in the space of cafes and whatnot, man. I think that was my first sort of like hookup. No, my first hookup was at McDonald's.
Nah.
Lasted 3 weeks. Come home smelling like oil and like deep fried.
Macs,
Oh, dude, I could not do it. I was like, nah,
Goddamn.
nah, this ain't it. I was like, Macca's ain't it. It was not working out. And so from Macca's, went to like a fish and chip shop. Same hookup. I was like, nah, I can't do it. And then from there, fast forward a little bit, ended up in a different cafe. This cafe is a little bit better. So I was like, you know what? I'll stick around for a while. But yeah, studying in uni and whatnot, I found my way in debt collection. Right? If you didn't pay your bills, some company was gonna call me up and be, hey, look, listen, so and so of this address hasn't paid their bills. Here's their phone number, here's their email, yada yada yada.
That's right.
So I've been chasing people up for bills. You know what I mean? Like, you did not want to get a call from me because it wasn't like we're negotiating. It's like, hey man, you had a service done, you haven't paid. Like,
That's right.
Let's be men about this.
That's
Just
right,
pay it. Pay it, and like, you don't have to hear from me again, yada yada yada. So did that for a couple of years, got tired of it. And then I started connecting with this one dude, right? Shout out to Mr. Andrew. I don't even think he'll be watching, but whatever. Maybe one day he might. He was the first guy I connected with. So I remember talking to him and I was like, man, you know what, man? I'm sick of debt collecting, man. Like every single day, same thing, same hookup, in, out, yada, yada, yada. I want to do something else. He's like, oh, what are you studying at uni, man? Back then I was doing a double degree. It was business and commerce with IT. He's like, oh, you know what? how about, you hang around at night time, fix a couple of computers for the night crew, and then like, let's see how you go. I'm like, all right, cool, bet, no worries. Fast forward, eventually I was like, nah, look, I'm out, I'm sick of it. He's like, hey, you know what? Come work for me. So, in I went, IT manager, talking to computers 8 hours a day. I do not recommend it unless you like doing that. I got bored after probably about a year and a half. I was like, nah, this ain't it either. But me being me, again, networking, talking to people. I was in the gym. This is one guy I always saw. Bald head, wearing jeans, like fresh Air Forces, and the simple tee. I'll see him every time. I'm like, man, who the heck is this guy? I see him, I'm like, oh, hey, bro, what's up? What's going on? Yada, yada, yada. And then there's one day, I'm like, you know what? I need to do something that I like. I got to be in environments that actually stimulate me to keep growing, like places I like spending time in. So I walk into the office, I'm like, hey, yo, look, you guys got a job going or whatever. The manager at the time, she was actually leaving. She's like, oh, hey, we just posted a job ad. Why don't you go apply for it? I'm like, bet, no worries. All right, shout out to Mr. JR. He knows who he is. I don't even know if he's watching, but if he is, shout out to Mr. JR.
Shout out JR.
Yeah. So,
Mr. J.
Mr. J.
Mr. J.
Yeah. Mr. Jordan himself. I ain't got to say last names. Don't nobody hit him up.
Yeah.
Let the man be. All right, he's a very busy man.
He's found peace.
My man's found peace and a lot of money too. So anyway, so I tell my boss, man, I'm like, hey, yo, man. I'm like, hey, yo, Andrew, listen. I might have a chance to work at a gym. He's like, dude, go for it. If that's what you really want to do, go for it. I'm like, all right, bet. He's like, just let me know when you're ready to bounce and then I'll release you. You're gone. I'm like, all right, bet. Cool. So anyway, fast forward, I get a call from the gym. And a dude was on the phone. He's like, oh, hey, you applied for a job? I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, hang on. What's your name? He's like, oh, Jordan. I'm like, I think I've seen you. He's like, oh, I think I've seen you too. I'm like, are you the bald guy that's always walking around? You never work out. You always do. He's like, yeah. He's like, are you the guy that's always on the Smith machine? I'm like, yeah, that's me. He's like, yeah, no, I think I know you. It's like, come in, like, let's have a chat.
Yep.
So I go in to have a chat. It was supposed to be like, just have a chat with him and that's it. But I have a chat. He's like, dude, you need to be in this gym. I'm like, I've never managed or run a gym before. He's like, oh, you'll be fine. You need to meet my HR lady. She was downstairs that day. Happenstance. Go downstairs. She's like, we have a quick chat. She's like, yo, you need to be in this gym. I'm like, okay, cool. I got no experience. She's like, look, the energy is right. The vibe is right. The attitude's right. You'll be fine. I'm like, bet. So anyway, interview finished. Come back. And then the next day I get a call. And he's like, hey, yo, you got the job. When can you start? I'm like, straight away. He's like, yeah, come on Monday. So I hit up my old boss. I'm like, hey, I'm like, Andrew, look, listen. He gave me the gig. He's like, dude, go. Who cares? Now, the funny part about all of this, I was still on the books as like a casual. So if you're a casual, you got no notice. So he's like, hey, man, I don't give a damn. Get out of here. I'm stuck here, but you're not.
Yeah.
Go. So anyway, that's how I got my my opportunity to be in the gyms.
Nice.
Right? So I started running gyms in different locations and whatnot. And that's where like the whole PT scene came into there as well.
Beautiful.
In between being a PT, I was a dating coach for a period of time as well.
Nice.
There's a lot of things that I saw there, and I was like, oh man, like men need help sometimes. You know what I mean? Not in like a derogatory way, but I think it's just in a way that in society we've done a very good job of building up women as we should. We haven't built up men at the same pace and the same
100%.
frequency.
Preach.
Right? So you got all these different scenarios going on where dudes are scared just to talk to somebody else. Right? So that's where that whole dating coach thing came in. Anyway,
Nice.
did PT for a couple of years. I was like, nah, I'm sick of that. And of course, I was doing like membership sales and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
And then I dropped that hook up. And then found my way again through talking to the right people, just talking my way into situations. Talked to some other dude. Got an interview at this tech company. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Got an interview. The interview, we were just laughing the whole time. I don't remember an actual interview question. We were just chopping it up, laughing like old mates. First time meeting this dude. Anyway, I'm walking out. I hit up my connect. I'm like, hey, man. So I just had the chat. Sounds pretty good. Hey, guys, oh, okay, cool. See how you go. I'm like, all right, bet. As I'm walking home the same day, I get a call. He's like, dude, you got the job. When can you start? I'm like, bingo, we're in. All right, so talking to a lot of people got me into a lot of places.
Beautiful.
And shout out to Mr. R. My man, Mr. R is international at the moment, I think. But where was I? I don't remember. I don't even remember where I was. But I started talking to this man. And, he was talking a lot of the things that I valued the most. Self-development, growth, business, networking with a lot the people. Right. That's how I got into the network marketing world. And again, lions are not meant to be caged. So, and you can't cage an eagle either.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
They don't fly at the same altitude.
Exactly. Once they break free, like you're done. So, long story short, I picked up quite a few lessons in there and then, I found my way. Now, unfortunately, some broken hearts in there. Unfortunately, got in a little bit of trouble. Chopping it up with two legends right here, Christo and Steve. You know, I was going through my phone the other day, Christo.
Yes.
I have a photo where you were about to go on stage. And I think it was you, me, and R. Yeah. At the back of the room, we're holding a glass of water. I will show you the photo. I was like, dude, this is nostalgia right here.
Bro, you gotta show me that.
I have to show you that photo. Yeah, but yeah, look, you know, a lot of lessons we took out of there, and then which maybe we could talk about in the next episode. But
Yeah, for sure.
and look, shout out to network marketing, man. I think it gets a bad rap sometimes, but there are a lot of lessons you can take out of that.
Agree.
A lot of lessons you can take out of that. You know what I
The
mean?
aspects are incredible, but just the execution.
The execution is what can make or break the environment. You know what I mean? But like, you know, that's pretty much where I'm at, man. You know, sales and marketing is my main hookup right now. At the moment, you know, dabbling in e-commerce, dabbling in Forex, dabbling in Bitcoin trading. I was like, I don't want to day trade Bitcoin, man. I don't have the patience to be watching charts. And it's pretty risky.
It's waking up though.
It is waking up, though. It's waking up. Did you see the news about China?
I would
happened?
say.
Oh, yo, we're going to have to. This is not financial advice, but they had a bit of a change of, it's not financial advice. Had a bit of a change of I guess rhetoric in Bitcoin, and we saw a little bit of price action happening there, which is pretty good. But yeah, man, at the moment, I think I'm also building towards that. Okay, cool. Let me put something aside for like long term, right? And again, this is not investment advice for nobody. But if you look at, for example, everybody knows Apple, iPhone. They have a real estate called Apple REIT. So in the stock word, REIT is Real Estate Investment Trust.
Beautiful.
The thing about Apple REIT, right? I think the stock is APLE. It's on the American Stock Exchange.
Yep.
They give you dividends every month.
Dope.
Nice.
So I'm
Dividends
like,
is
all right.
key, brother.
Exactly. Every month. So I'm like, well, the money that I get, why not just use that, put it into something that'll give me money without really doing nothing on it. You know what I mean? So
That's a
multiplying
smart
that.
decision.
And if you look at Apple REIT, they own a bunch of like Hiltons, Marriott's all around the world. I think they got like 126 around the world. And those things don't just go bust. I mean, look at COVID. COVID happened. They made a stack of money because everybody was being powered into their government pays them money this week.
Yeah, that's right.
You know? So there are a couple. Then there's another one called Whitestone. So it's about just building up those. You got the long-term runway, and then in the middle, you know, dabble in this and that, some Bitcoin, this and that. You know, it might be altcoin season again. There's a couple of airdrops about to happen in different networks. I'm like, I don't know, it's a bit risky, but you know, I think altcoin season might be coming before Bitcoin really rallies. So yeah, dabbling on that.
Nice.
But yeah, man, that's just where my hookup is: sales, marketing, a bit of business, and multiplying those funds, man. Multiplying those funds.
Cash flow, baby.
Cash flow, man. Cash flow. But anyway, back to the subject about lessons. We could probably go into this later, but I don't know, from Chris, like, what kind of lessons do you take away from like network marketing? Maybe like a quick bliss. What was like your most important lesson that you took away from network marketing?
I think on episode 1 I spoke about communication and confidence. But I want to speak a different thing that I picked up was leadership.
Leadership.
Yeah, leadership.
All right.
I, for one, wasn't a leader prior to network marketing. I was mostly just like a follower,
Yeah.
if I'm being honest. But after I stepped into that leadership role and developed a team quite early on, I was forced to become a leader.
Yeah. Wow.
And, you know, it was a good experience because...
it. He got comfortable in the uncomfortable.
Hey,
right.
comfortable in
Fantastic.
chaos.
That's it.
I agree. And I took that mindset because, you know, I wanted to lead myself first. And in order to lead others, you need to be able to lead yourself. So that was the first person I need to be able to lead. And leadership traits, I think one of the ones that I really picked up was just being able to listen, but not just like listen surface level, but really understand what people are trying to say underneath. And I think that's just such an important trait that I've picked up and has helped me in also my career, my relationship, not just my partner, but also my family.
Yeah.
And I think that empathy or that way of handling people, I wouldn't have picked it up if I wasn't in network marketing.
Yeah. Wow.
Right.
Powerful.
Prior to network marketing, man, I was just gossiping, bro. Talking smack about people.
Hey.
You know?
Tune into Smack FM.
Hey.
You know, we would talk about but I remember in high school, man, like we would just like talk a lot of smack and it was funny to do, right? That was,
It's the best.
it's the best, right?
The banter.
The banter.
Banter's good.
right? But when I stepped into like a network marketing environment where everyone was just edifying each other, like uplifting and encouraging one another, it was a bit foreign to me at first. But I picked it up because, wow, this is how you uplift people. This is how you empower people. And this is how you become a good leader.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And I learned that from network marketing.
Servant leader.
That's right.
That's it.
Yeah, Top D. What about you, man?
The biggest thing I think was just learning to actually work on myself, develop myself. Because if I wasn't going to be able to develop my skill set, I couldn't transfer it onto my team. You know, this whole idea that if I was leading from the front and developing or going through my insecurities, building up my self-image, I would be a powerful example of what the system can do for someone else.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I took away.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's powerful, man.
Appreciate it.
There's a lot of lessons in there.
That's right.
There is a lot of lessons in there.
There are. It could be a whole lot of episodes.
Yeah, I think on the next episode we'll touch on that. We'll touch on that. One that just came to mind though was that ability to just not give a damn. You know what I mean? Because like it pushed you to like the knife's edge.
Yeah.
Like, hey, yo, go get rejected, right? Shout out to
Yes.
a little book we all know, Go for No.
Yeah.
Go for No is a beautiful book, and you know, for those of you who've never read it, the whole concept is, you know, anything that you're trying to sell or promote, right? You're always gonna get people that say no. But for you to find those yeses, you might need, I don't know, like 100 no's to find the 3 yeses that you need, right? They say it takes 3 to build a dream, right? That's what they used to say back in the day. But essentially, if you chase the no's, you'd be sweet. So, and look, I got a challenge, right?
Yes.
I got a challenge for the boys. Because we touched on this a little bit before, you know what I mean? Which is what led me to become a dating coach all these years ago. And essentially, when dudes get frozen and stuck up on trying to speak to a girl. I mean, it's another human being. Like, what's the deal? If she doesn't like you, whatever. What did I used to say? Some will, some won't, but somewhere things will. Somewhere somebody will. All right. And look, there are like 7 billion people in the world, right? I think there's more women than men on the planet. So you gotta end up with somebody as a dude. You know, that's what I reckon anyway. But I got a challenge for the dudes. All right. Tackling the fear of rejection. Once you're able to master that, you become fearless. Whether you do sales, marketing, business, consulting, whatever the heck you do. Here's a challenge. Go out and get rejected by the girls. Just walk and look, don't be all like sleazy about it. Just go try to start a conversation. Oh, hey, how are you? If she's like, get away from me, keep walking. I'm like, oh, okay, my bad. Keep walk to the next one. Or better yet, walk around with your arms up for like an hour and start conversations, because that's going to draw attention to you.
That's
Once
right.
you get used to people like looking at you, right? Any assumption that you can come up with in your head, you're gonna run out of assumption.
That's right.
And eventually you just don't care. You're like, oh, they're looking, whatever.
Yeah.
So when you start that conversation, it gives you like a different perspective, because
right.
now you just don't care.
Yeah.
So that's a challenge for the dudes out there. Go ahead and try that, and you'll find yourself very fearless. But you know, I think we can probably dive into some of the other tools and ways you can develop certain aspects. You mentioned leadership. You mentioned, you know, having like the vision, being around the right people, right environment. So I think we can dive into some of that next time too. I think that's about all I got to say. Any last words, Christo?
Man, I think that's it for today. And thanks for tuning in, listeners. We appreciate
That's
your
right.
feedback. Keep them coming. And if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to give us a follow. We're on all social media, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, you name it.
Yes,
so
sir.
give us a follow, guys.
Get on it, guys.
We'll see you at the next episode. Stay limitless.
Peace
Stay
out.
limitless, peeps.
Hey, hey.
Yeah. All right.